Hello friends, Fox Vandy and Max here. Today I'm going to share part 4 of my series and I hope you'll enjoy it. So part 4 today is about my healing and Maxie here is part of that. He's brought me so much joy. So in part 1 I describe my childhood, but not too much detail. I don't think it's for everyone's ears. In part 2, I tell how I was rescued as a teenager by my older sister. In part 3, I discuss my bad choices and continuing struggles as an adult. This is part 4, how I am healing in nature and living a nomadic life. No, just because a person has a difficult past, or just because a person was abused or neglected or rejected, or has mental issues, and so on, doesn't mean they are so damaged that they are lost cause. They can heal. I'm an example of healing. I determined over 5 years ago that I would do just that. I would heal. I told myself I had to find the positive side of everything. I told myself I would smile even if I felt like crying. I told myself I would not allow negative people or circumstances to drag me down or control my life anymore. As I continued to do this, I found myself feeling more positive. I found myself smiling automatically. I started finding things in my life that gave me joy. The healing started very slowly at first. I continued to have many struggles the first few years. My health, my mental state, my finances, and my relationship with God were very damaged. But as I prayed and applied these principles, I began to notice things getting better in my life. So the first thing I would like to touch on is spiritual healing. First, I knew I had to get right with God. I started praying for faith and healing. I learned that if I wanted to be loved, respected, forgiven, and accepted, then I would have to have these qualities in my life first. Although I don't follow any organized religion, I do believe in God and His Son. I do believe in God's Word. I started to make changes in my life. I quit a lot of things I was doing in my life that I felt were keeping me from having a close relationship with Him. I saw miracles in my life happen that could only come from Him. Slowly, I started getting closer to Him. So the next thing I want to touch on is emotional and mental healing. I was broken down mentally and emotionally from years and years of trauma and abuse. I had no self-esteem. I thought I was worthless. I thought I was unlovable. I found no pleasure in life at all. A depression literally ruined my life. As I got outside of myself, I did more in nature. I got around other people and interacted with them. I started believing I was lovable and that there was a purpose for my existence. As I started seeing the beauty around me, it was like a healing balm. I was starting to feel more pleasure in my surroundings. I was less and less depressed. As I started making friends who seemed to really like me for myself, my self-esteem was getting better. People seemed to appreciate what I had to say. I started communicating more. I actually started liking myself. Because I've just come outside of myself, I sometimes say more than I should, or sometimes come off wrong. But I took down my walls. I opened myself up to the possibility of getting hurt, but I was allowing myself to be vulnerable again, come what may. And yes, I've been hurt by a few people, but I get over it. I stopped being so sensitive and taking everything personally. I don't allow myself to hold grudges, so I get over the hurt feelings pretty fast. Forgiveness is the key. So over 5 years ago, before I became a nomad, I had tons of health problems. I had been dealing with health issues most of my life. Working in the fields, I'm sure it took a toll on me as a child. Then all the double working 2 jobs, raising my kids, and being in abusive marriages certainly had a lot of toll on my health. I was permanently disabled before I was even 50 years old. I was in a wheelchair for 5 years. I worked my way out of the wheelchair. I had been in therapy for physical and mental illness for many, many years, off and on. Even the first year or 2 on the road, I still had more health problems and injuries. I mean, I broke my back, broke my wrist, had 4 eye surgeries and a stroke and other things. I was not eating good. I had so many things going on. Yeah, I can't even list them all. Today, physically, I'm healing. Thanks be to God. Physically, He's healed my back pretty much completely. I have full use of my wrist. My eyes I can see. I had 4 eye surgeries. They're still not good. I think my eyes are slowly going bad, but I still can see. The only problems I have with my eyes are focus problems and sometimes a little bit of peripheral, seeing off to the sides without to turn my head. Or if I'm walking, sometimes I don't see what's right in front of my feet. Maybe it's because my glasses don't sit right on the nose. Who knows? Anyhow, I get out every day. I get out in the sunshine and get lots of vitamin D. It's great for your immune system. It's healthy to get natural vitamin. I walk. I get a lot of exercise. I get fresh air. And I feel good from all the things I can see. I do a lot of work on my truck physically. I do everything I can for myself. On rare occasions, I'll ask somebody to help me, but for the most part, I do everything myself. Because of that, I think I'm healing physically. I still can't walk more than about a half a mile, but it's still better than 500 feet. I was on a lot of pain pills and tons of medication. I weaned myself off of all my pain medication and all the other medications and replaced it with natural remedies, over-the-counter or natural remedies, as much as I possibly could. The only prescription medication I take now is my thyroid pills because I was told if I don't, I won't survive. So I cook most of my meals. The first few years I never went out to a fast food place unless once or twice somebody offered to take me. I didn't have the money, first of all. So I'm cooking the meals and eating healthier than I ever did before. I ate a lot of fast food before. I ate a lot of junk food. I still eat chocolate. I still drink my Pepsi. And I still smoke, so that's not really good for my health. But for the most part, I eat much better. So I use natural medicine as much as possible for preventive maintenance. I believe that I have healed from so many things I was wrong with me because of my lifestyle. Because I get so much exercise. I have much more energy than I ever did. I used to get dizzy all the time. I would pass out. I was weak. I could barely get out of bed some days. I would stay in bed some days. I'm not saying that all medication is bad. Some people absolutely have to have medication. But for me personally, I would rather deal with my pain. I feel the pain, but I just deal with it. I use things like over-the-counter turmeric with curcumin, because what I found is the more medications I took, the worse I felt. I didn't find the medications were helpful to me, because the bottom line is you get one medication, sometimes you have side effects. Then the doctor gives you another medication to fix the side effects. Then they give you another one, on and on and on. What happened is they never took me off of anything. But I truly believe that I'm much healthier because of all these things. So I believe that natural medicines are much more better for you than pharmaceuticals. I do go to a doctor if I need to for tests and lab work and things like that. But I rarely go to the doctor. Maybe once, sometimes twice a year if I need to. So I believe that my nomadic life in nature is healing to me. I know I still have a ways to go. I'm getting older, and nothing I can do to change that. But I believe God made our bodies with so many healing properties if we allow them to happen. So another way I've been healing is financially. I've lived very frugally, very careful. The first couple years I never bought anything I didn't absolutely need because my finances couldn't handle it. I was well over $10,000 in debt. I took every dime I had to pay off the bills. So I was only getting absolute necessities. I lived on start with $800 a month. Now I have $900 and something. Plus I have a little income from YouTube, which helps me quite a bit. I mean, it's not a lot, but everything helps. So I have learned that my budget, now that my budget is better, it's made my life better. I can buy a few things that I couldn't buy before. Even once in a while, I'll buy a new shirt. It says, in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, I even buy silly things once in a while. So I guess at this point, I'm working hard on YouTube. I work very hard to do this right. So I think I do deserve once in a while a few things. And people send me very nice gifts too. So that's helped me a lot. So financially, I'm healing. So I'm going to add one more thing in a minute here. So the last thing I want to share about my healing is nature. Nature. You know, in nature I see God in everything. I'm healing spiritually and emotionally and physically as I draw closer to Him through my appreciation of the things He created. All the beauty around me, no matter where I go. I feel His power in the mighty winds that blow through the desert and the awesome sunrises and sunsets. The sun heats and warms my body and my soul. The cool breezes when it's warm refresh me. I look at the sky at night. I see all those millions of stars far away from the city lights. And there are so many I can't even conceive the numbers. The plants and the flowers and the cactus, they thrive in this really tough environment. Heavy winds, high heat, very little rain, and yet they thrive. In the mountains, the peaks and the crevices and the colors of the rocks and formations, that the plants that grow right out of the mountains out of the rocks, the streams and the waterfalls, the way the tree tops sway in the wind when there's a cool breeze, the power of the ocean waves and swells. You know, we have an awesome God. He created this world for us to enjoy. His love, His power, and justice are all described in His Word. And we can verify the truth of those things by the things we see. Yes, I am healing spiritually. I'm healing emotionally. I'm healing physically. I'm healing financially. And it's all through making a lot of changes in my life, living my life to the full, changing my thinking, my attitude, my positivity, not allowing negativity into my life. My life is not perfect, but I'll tell you what, compared to what I had before, my life is a miracle. And I thank you for watching. I hope this inspires you and makes you realize no matter what your circumstances, no matter how bad you had it, it's in the past. Live your life today. Enjoy life. Find things that make you happy. Appreciate the things around you. Appreciate the people in your lives. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. Hit the bell so you won't miss my next videos. And also, share this out. And I appreciate your support. I thank you all so much. Check out the descriptions down in the bottom below this video so you can know how to support my channel if you choose to do so. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.